Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We're going to talk about some exciting things going on at ProSites, and hopefully you'll get a lot out of it. My name is Keith Washington. I'm the VP of Products here at ProSites. Our whole mission in life is to provide measurable practice growth through automated marketing solutions, and that really means that we provide websites and online marketing solutions to practices to help you get more patients. And so I'm pretty excited to be able to present this webinar to you about what's going on, what new features, what new products and enhancements we've been adding to ProSites, and maybe a little bit of insight into what we're going to be doing next. Just a couple of housekeeping items. First of all, you can hear me, hopefully, but I can't hear you. Everyone is muted who is on the call, but I appreciate you attending. However, there's a way for you to interact with me, and that's through the questions panel that's in your GoToWebinar little panel that you should have that provides you with all of the different options. So if you have a question, feel free to type in that question, and I usually can't do much while I'm talking, but right towards the end of the webinar, I usually take time to answer questions. So feel free to ask them all along the way, and I will either answer them through this webinar, or I will type an answer to you or to the group, depending on what the question is. And I appreciate anybody who has questions. Hopefully I'm clear enough, but sometimes not. Second, I am recording this webinar, so you don't have to worry about taking notes or doing screen captures of the slides. Everyone who has signed up for this webinar and who attends will certainly get a copy of this webinar, and you can access it through our on-demand webinars on ProSites.com. But we'll also send you a link to the webinar since you decided you wanted to attend or you have signed up for it. So look forward to that, and just gives you the opportunity just to listen and engage and ask questions along the way. And lastly, there should be towards the end of this webinar a little survey, maybe a couple of questions that ask you questions about the webinar. So I'd appreciate it as you exit the webinar if you would simply answer that survey. It helps us provide more feedback to you, more value to you, and improve what we do with our webinars. So let's get started. Again, my name is Keith Washington. I'm the VP of Products here at ProSites. And I want to just walk through spending a little bit of time talking about features that we've added, features that you may not know about with your ProSites website application, and hopefully provide you more value with having a relationship with us. You should see my screen. Change to the agenda. We're going to talk about some of the upgrades that are free for your websites that you may or may not know about as a ProSites customer. There are things that we do all the time to enhance our websites and our digital marketing experience. So I want to make sure that you know about them and take advantage of them as part of your monthly subscription. I'll talk about ProSites Premier, a new product. If you have our social media management program, I want to talk a little bit about some updates to that program that are pretty exciting. If you don't, it's still important. Maybe you'll find some interest in what we do with social media management. I'll talk a little bit about partnerships that we have that also enhance your practice and can help you engage new patients, and then a little bit about features that are coming up in the coming months. So let's start with free website upgrades. Just want to make sure that you know that there are some things in your that you get with being a ProSites member that you can do at no cost to you. We regularly add features and functions to the website editor or to the websites themselves, and you can take advantage of them at no additional cost to you. So let's start, first of all, with website designs. I just want to make sure that a number of you know we have over 7,500 practices who use our websites, and some of them have been with us, and maybe including you, for many, many years. And a number of them picked a site style or a site theme that really looked nice a few years ago, but may not respond well to mobile devices. And we want you to know that you can upgrade that site style at no cost. As a matter of fact, if you're using one of our current site styles, you can do that within minutes. Or you can do it yourself, or we can do it for you. All you have to do is call us, and we'll help you pick a new style. Well, why is that important? First of all, your website has to be mobile friendly. It's really easy to tell if your website is mobile friendly just by looking at your website on a mobile device. If you have to scroll left or right when you're on a mobile device, and you are not able to see all of the relevant content going left to right, you can tell that it's a non-mobile website. Why is that important? Well, I think this is even growing. More than 60% of mobile users will automatically leave your website if it's not mobile friendly. All of us, most of us have a mobile phone now, and for over 40% of all Google searches from a mobile device are healthcare related, meaning that people are looking for your practice on their phones. And if your website isn't optimized for mobile or optimized for a tablet, but only optimized for a desktop, then you're missing out on potential patient opportunities because you're giving them a bad mobile experience. They will just go somewhere else. Responsive websites, or websites that respond appropriately to the device that it is being shown on, give an optimal viewing experience for any practice. Now, if you already know about this, hooray, but we have thousands of customers who have not upgraded and maybe not even realize that you can do that just by picking another theme or style on our website. We've added a number of new mobile-friendly designs over the past 2, maybe even 3 or 4 years. And these designs include the latest and best practices for website design. It includes some really cool designs. There's a design theme called Parallax, which keeps your top image static while it scrolls the rest of the information. But we're always looking at the latest in web design, technology, web design, UI, web design, experience, and always, every year, we put out new standard designs that you can switch to. You can add your logo to it and easily update your theme or update your style so that you have the best potential viewing for your potential or even current patients. All you have to do is go into your editor at ProSites.com, you log in, and then you can see what your current design looks like and then what you could potentially switch to. You can change that, you can preview it, you don't have to make a commitment right away, but it gives you a number of different options. I want to quickly just make sure that you know that when it comes to website design options, ProSites was a leader in providing easy-to-use standard websites, easy-to-select standard websites for practices. But that's not all we do. We also offer 3 other levels of website design. And so if your practice has matured, you may want to explore some of the other options we have, including a semi-custom design, which as you go from standard to semi-custom to custom pro, you will see greater flexibility and greater options for you and your practice to modify or really almost design your own website. From semi-custom, which allows you to change the interior or the home page and interior banners, you're able to put your own tagline on the website, to custom websites, which give you a little bit more flexibility. We've picked some layouts for you, and then you can put images and customize the images to meet your need. Or you may be a practice who's going through a whole branding campaign where you want to make sure that your logo is changed, your brand, there's some brand or image that you're trying to project in your practice, and you want a fully custom website. We can do that too, and there are different pricing options as you move up the chain. But a number of practices just think of us as I can only pick from a certain number of standard templates. That's not true. We have a full custom team that is here to be able to meet your needs as your practice grows, as your practice matures. So you don't have to give up the flexibility that you have in getting all of the future enhancements that we have while picking a custom design that matches your needs. So I want to make sure that everyone knows about that as well. The next thing that I want to talk about that is free is the Americans with Disabilities Act. Now, this is something that we launched last year, but there are a number of practices that don't know about this as yet. And so I want to make sure you know about it and to tell you that one of the benefits of working with a company like ours is that we are focused on making sure that our websites comply with various rules. So if you are thinking about, I can just do this through my nephew or do this through, a friend, you have to think about that we're constantly looking at what the latest in website design has, including this thing called the Americans with Disabilities Act. And what it really says is that an individual shouldn't be discriminated on based on the basis of disability to the full and equal enjoyment of the goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantage, or accommodations of any place of public accommodation. So what it really means is that you, if you're in practice, already know that you can't discriminate against someone. You have to make your services available to someone who is disabled. And in the case of a website, what that could mean, even though the courts aren't really 100% in alignment about that, what that could mean is that whether or not a website is a place of accommodation, meaning that if someone is visually impaired, you have to provide them with equal enjoyment of your website so that they can reach you, understand what your goods and services are, just like anyone who doesn't have that disability. And so we have seen some cases where practices, mostly on the medical side, but some dentists were sued because their website was not, in fact, ADA compliant. There's a web content accessibility group, the WCAG, which provides guidelines on what website providers need to do to make sure that your website is accessible. And I'm not going to go into the details of it, except to know that we have taken care of that, including high contrast tables that contain data, making sure that anybody, primarily making sure a screen reader for people who have certain disabilities, screen readers can actually read the website. So what we did, quite simply, was provide an accessibility option on the website homepage. This allows you to have the same high quality, great visually designed website for people who don't have impairments, and also provide that same content to someone who does have those issues. So all you have to do is click the accessibility button, or a screen reader, by the way, will notice that accessibility button, and the website will change itself automatically to be WCAG 2.0 compliant. So this allows you to easily add it to your website. By the way, all you have to do is call us, or you can go into the website yourself and check a box. I'll show you a quick picture of it. And then once enabled, that tab will appear on every page of the website. And then anytime that tab is clicked, the user will be taken to an accessible version of your website. I want to stress that this is free to you as part of our Future Now Assurance Guarantee, meaning that as we add features like this to our websites, this just continues to add to the value that you have from us. Simply go into the editor at ProSites.com. You select accessibility from the navigation bar. You can even pick which position on the screen you want the button to appear. And that's really important because you may have picked a template or a theme that where most of the navigation or a lot of the important information is on the left or on the top or on the bottom. And so you can pick where you want that button to appear, and then publish your website. Click a button to select publish, and then you're done. It only takes a number of minutes, and I want to point out that our team will do that for you. The last thing that I want to talk about in terms of free website upgrades is reputation marketing. Really, 70% of prospective patients want to read an online review, and this is about reviews. It's about you being able to engage your current patients in collecting a review, and then you being able to take happy patients and asking them to post that review on an outside source like Google, Yelp, and Bing. We've added this feature to our websites so that all you have to do is go in and enable reviews in a reviews page. And what will happen is that patients can, and you can send them an email that says, hey, could you leave me a review on my website? Send them a link to the page for reviews. You can collect that review right on your practice website. If your patients rate you as a 4 or 5 stars, they will be prompted to share that review on other sites so that you can collect those reviews on Google and Yelp. You get to choose which reviews show up on your website, and then you can monitor reviews through email notification. So you don't have to worry about not being able to see the reviews that are coming into your website. All being done through your review manager. We will send you an email every time you get a review on your website. You can click on the review or click on the actual email that we send, be taken to the review manager where you can decide what to do about the review. Like, first of all, you can reply to the reviewer via email. You can publish the review on your website. You can decide to hide the review, or you can remove it from your website or from your review manager. This really gives you a better way to engage with your patients on reviews, as well as provide value and added value to your website when new patients are looking for how you're doing in your practice. So those are 3 really powerful things that you can do today. You can upgrade your style to make sure it's the latest and current theme that's available on the internet. You can add Americans with Disabilities Act accessibility to your website so that people who are visually impaired or have some impairment can review your website without any issues. And number 3, you can add reputation marketing to your website. And I just encourage you to call or email our support team, and they're happy to help you do that. The next thing I want to talk about is ProSites Premier. This is a new product suite that will really add a number of features to your website, and we're pretty excited about having this. And if you're interested in that, you can give us a call. But really, ProSites Premier combines a website with the latest patient interaction tools so that you can have a powerful experience for both your practice and for the patients. And so what we've done really is taken our website offering to a new level. We have offered really one website level for all of these years, and then you can buy search engine optimization or social media management or pay-per-click services. But what we thought was, well, there are a number of features that we'd like to add or that people have asked for that people pay for separately. Why don't we combine them in one product, one component called ProSites Premier? And so ProSites Premier, which is the next level of website, includes a secure or HTTPS semi-custom website. If you remember, I talked about a standard website. The next level was semi-custom. So it includes an HTTPS semi-custom website. We've added secure mail. It also includes a HIPAA-compliant patient portal with online forms, and then call tracking and analytics. And so this is, a really good offering for us to provide you with a level of patient interaction that really is second to none. As you can see, all of our websites include the same things that we have always offered, including design choices, logo integration that comes with semi-custom, reputation marketing that I talked about, and all of the content that you can customize from our content library to help showcase your specialties, showcase things that you want to make sure that patients know about you. So really quickly, in case you don't know what an HTTPS website is, Google over the past couple of years has started to require websites to be secure. And you can tell a website is secure because a lot of times it'll say secure in the top left-hand corner of your Google Chrome browser. If it's not secure, it'll either say not secure, or you may get a pop-up, and you can see this on websites all around the world that you have. You may get a pop-up that says this website is not secure. So HTTPS to your website provides you with the ability through the secure socket layer or the HTTPS connection to make sure that any communication that a practice or a patient is sending to you is secure. So, for instance, if they're filling out a form to ask you to add a particular, or whether or not they want you to have an appointment with you, or they're asking questions about whether or not you take a certain insurance. Having an HTTPS website ensures that those communications between you and your patient are encrypted. It doesn't mean that someone over time couldn't hack into it. It provides an extra layer of protection for anyone who is using your website. You can see the HTTPS just by looking on your browser. So here is an example on the right-hand side of a website that's secure. It actually says secure and has HTTPS on it. And we make sure, by the way, you can buy an HTTPS certificate and maybe try to add it. We actually don't allow it on our websites. But what we also do is we provide, through ProSites Premier, or you can buy this standalone, but through ProSites Premier, we will make sure that we provide the SSL certificate for you. We're going to make sure we test all of your website pages and make updates or corrections if needed. So, for instance, you may have third-party components on your website. You may be using a third-party online calendar solution. We will make sure that if that connection isn't secure, it makes your website not secure, and we'll let you know about that to make sure that you can contact a third-party vendor to ensure that that part of the connection is secure. And then we'll maintain that certificate so you don't have to worry about whether or not that certificate lapses. ProSites Premier also includes secure email. We encourage people to not send x-rays or patient information by email, but a number of practices still do. And so we include secure email, which helps you comply with HIPAA, and then builds trust with your patients. The way we've set up email is if you currently use our email system, and we provide free email with our websites, all you have to do when you purchase the secure mail option, or when you purchase ProSites Premier, all you would need to do is type in the word secured on the email, and it automatically will encrypt that email, and then the email recipient will need to register the first time they receive a secure email. So we've made it so simple. You don't have to have a separate email system. You don't have to manage it separately. You can do it with your current ProSites email, and we will and that helps you provide an extra layer of security. Another thing that comes with ProSites Premier is HIPAA-compliant patient portal and online forums. So we want to make sure that everybody, every practice that wants to have patients fill out their health history form, their patient information form, their acknowledgement form. A lot of times you're asking to do that in the office, and then you are rekeying that information into your practice management system, or the patient is only filling out half of the information. So we are now providing what we consider to be a unique value in ProSites Premier of the online patient form and a HIPAA-compliant portal. And what that really means is that every new patient or every returning patient can just log into their patient portal. You will send them an email from the online portal solution that says, hey, welcome back to our practice. Before you come in the next 2 days, please fill out this form. And this is a form that is not an online PDF, but a customizable form that collects the data on behalf of you or on behalf of the practice. And it's a form that modifies itself based on the information that a person selects. So a lot of times on PDF forms, you just fill in all the information, or even forms that are filled out. But for instance, if a patient has selected, yes, I have diabetes, it will ask additional questions associated with diabetes. However, if a person says, no, I don't have diabetes, they don't see those questions. So it is a form that adds more or subtracts more questions. And then It also includes a unique, really, we think no one else in the industry does this, preclinical assessment, so that the doctor or every practice, when those forms are completed by the patient, receives an assessment, summarized, medically assessed patient review that helps you pinpoint whether or not there are critical risks, any medical conditions, any health history, and a lot of information. So if you can see on the screen, in this case, this person has susceptibility to infection. There's an alert associated with it based on the information that they filled out in that form. And we have a clinical team of doctors that are monitoring and updating that form, or updating the preclinical assessment on a regular basis to help the practice do a better job of being able to interact with patients. All of the information in the online form can then be stored in your practice management system in the data folder, so that you can go paperless with filling out your online forms. We found this, by the way, to be the most powerful component of ProCytes Premier. So many practices are now moving to paperless systems, and this is one of the unique things that ProCytes offers through ProCytes Premier. Lastly, with ProCytes Premier, we're also really interested in making sure you know how well your website is doing. So we add call tracking and analytics so that you can see how many patients come to your practice from your website. So a number of people say, well, I don't know if my website's working. I don't know. I know I get some people who fill out forms, but you don't really know how many people are coming to your website from search engines, new patients. You may ask, how did you hear about us? And most of the time they'll say, I got referred by a friend, or it was word of mouth, but they all go to your website, and then they all first take a look, by the way, at how your reviews are, what your specialties are, and then they may call you. So we're going to provide you with a unique phone tracking number throughout your website, and then you can access that information and see how many people called based on your website presence. And then we also are recording those calls. And so you can listen to the calls and see whether or not you're losing potential patients in conversion. We think the industry standard shows that 30% of potential patients are lost after they phone the office, because maybe you're not providing the right introduction. Maybe you're not providing them with the information that they need in the best possible way. And so now you can listen and help improve your staff training, because a patient that is interested in your services is valuable to you. So all of these things come with ProCytes Premier. All you have to do is give us a call, and we can help you get on board with that. The next topic I want to talk about is social media updates. If you use our social media management program, I just want to quickly go through some of the changes that we've added for social media management. If you don't use it, just to let you know that we provide social media management services for our clients in 3 different levels: advanced, premium, and elite, and you can see what those are. And what we do is we post on behalf of your practice to various social media channels, and you can see them here. And that provides you with engagement and provides you with another way to engage your current patients as well as reach new patients. And so we've made a couple of changes. First of all, we used to post on Facebook and Twitter, and we replaced Twitter because we actually found that the adoption on Twitter for small businesses primarily, but for practices, wasn't as strong as we wanted, and we replaced it with 2 services: Instagram, which is connected to Facebook, and Google+. And we've added more specialized content for your practice. So we post relevant information on your website, on your social media page, either 4 times a month or 8 times a month, 12 times a month, depending on which option you purchase. And now we're understanding a little bit more about your practice and providing more specialized posts if you specialize in implants or you specialize in pediatrics, so that you can match your needs for your practice. So why did we do this? First of all, for Instagram, 71% of businesses use Instagram, 80% of users follow businesses on Instagram. If you have a location, you get a lot more engagement on your Instagram posts. So we're seeing that Instagram, quite frankly, is providing more value. I know a lot of people think that, well, I don't really know about either posting on social media or, as we'll talk about in a minute, advertising on social media, but we're seeing a greater and greater trend, especially as people use mobile devices, for people to engage with practices either on Instagram or Facebook to more and more than they ever have. So we're seeing this particular channel added to a website provides a lot of power in engaging your current patients, keeping you top of mind, as well as giving you the opportunity to get new patients, because if you have posts and if you're regularly posting, you will find that people who follow you will like or share that information, and that gives you the option, that gives you the ability to connect with more potential patients. We also added Google Plus, primarily, even though a lot of people don't use Google Plus, as many people don't use Google Plus in terms of a social media platform. Being on Google Plus is powerful because Google Plus gets indexed, which means that if someone is searching for you on Google, you have a slightly higher chance of being found or being found higher in the search engine. So you really want to make sure that you are on Google Plus, and Google is YouTube connected, meaning that if you're posting videos, you can easily add it to Google Plus. So we're pretty excited about the constant changes that we're making to our social media platform. The next thing I want to talk about, which is really exciting to us, is some of the new partnerships we have. We have two partnerships. Number one with CareCredit. CareCredit dominates the market, the dental market or the medical market, in terms of financing for dental procedures. Most of you are CareCredit practices or offer CareCredit, and what we have is a partnership with them, which provides a practice who is a CareCredit practice to add a CareCredit page right on your website. There's no charge for you to do this, but what's great about this is that we have added the ability for you to get credit for patients that sign up on your website. So if you can see that screen, there's an Apply Now button and a payment calculator. If someone clicks that button, it is tied to your marketing ID number, your CareCredit specific MID number, and that provides you, lets CareCredit know that that patient came from you and from your practice, and provides you with the credit for that patient. And I think you know more than I do how important that is when you are getting financing or providing financing options for CareCredit. The other thing is that as CareCredit grows and changes, we will automatically update that page for you, so you don't have to worry about making sure that that CareCredit page is current. This is a CareCredit approved page. It provides a nice little video, and so if someone is looking for practices with financing in my area, then you will show up higher than others if you have a CareCredit page. So we're pretty excited about having this relationship with CareCredit. We're the only website provider that has this relationship. And again, all you have to do is call our support team, or you can do it yourself, and we will add that CareCredit page for you at no additional charge. Lastly, we have a similar relationship with Glow Science. Glow provides a unique teeth whitening system for practices to offer to your patients. So if someone is interested in teeth whitening and they type in teeth whitening, you can have the Glow page added, a dedicated Glow Sciences page added to your website at no charge for you. You just need to, it's probably best if you offer Glow before you add the page, so that someone who calls you inquiring about it doesn't, that your front office doesn't say that you don't do it. But all you have to do is add that to your page. And again, that's no charge to you. It's something that if you offer this feature, you can do that, and we will keep that page updated for you. So pretty interesting new partnerships to help you engage with your current patients, and especially get new patients who may be interested in these features. Lastly, I'm just going to talk for a minute about what comes next. Probably the most important thing is reputation monitoring. I've talked about reputation marketing as a feature where you can collect reviews on your website. With reputation monitoring, we're going to give you the opportunity to see reviews that come in from Yelp or Google Plus or other places and get an email from us, and then we will take you to a review manager, and you can see those reviews, respond to those reviews, and help you channel all the reviews or ratings that are coming in from your patients. Probably the most important thing is to help you know if you're getting a negative review from an outside source and you don't have the time to constantly monitor that. Well, we're collecting all of those reviews and then going to provide you with an easy way to look at them, engage with your patients so that you can continue to promote your practice in the right way. It's really important. Reviews are very important to any search that is happening, any new patients that are coming on, and especially if you're getting a negative review from a patient, you want to make sure that you take care of the situation right away. So we're going to be adding that feature in the fall. We're also going to be continuing to add some great new designs, continuing to improve our online forms product, including another new feature that will help you go paperless with your office. We're pretty excited about the things that we're offering for ProCytes. We're pretty excited about being able to continue to add value to your current relationship with us, and really just want to make sure you know what we have. We send a lot of marketing communications, but sometimes they aren't read, or maybe we have practices that just don't, they bought a website and not sure what we do anymore. I just want to make sure that you know that we're continuing to enhance and build the best online marketing solutions for our practices, and we're pretty happy about our goal of being able to help you with practice growth. So I'm going to take a few minutes to see if you have any questions. As I said at the top of the call, if you have any questions, all you have to do is ask them in the questions box, and I will answer them either online, or if people bring in questions that maybe the whole group would want to hear, I'll answer them for a couple of minutes and then stay online for a while to answer any questions that you may have. But this ends the formal portion of the webinar, so I appreciate everyone who's joined. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And just a reminder that there will be, all of this webinar has been recorded, and there'll be a short survey as you exit the webinar. Thanks for taking the time.